It's your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another episode of My 2 Cents. This morning we're looking at the Chinese automobile industry. It's a bubble. It's starting to show signs of slowing down. That is the biggest market. And so if we see this slow down, we know what's coming next, the rest of the world. So we're going to look into the numbers that we're getting on Chinese car sales, plunging 7.5% on this latest report. Ford over in China is also slowing down, but to the contrast, the luxury makers like Tesla, I would consider a luxury brand, and Lamborghini are up. Sales are up. Lamborghini sales jump over 4%, and analysts here in the United States are positive on Tesla. It's jumped past $500. I think that's one of the biggest bubbles as far as valuation. I love Elon Musk. He's a genius, but Tesla to me is up against some fierce competition that wasn't there just 3 years ago. So we'll take a look at all this data here in a second. But before we start, if you guys find these types of videos informative, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and click that bell to receive more videos like this. Dow Jones closed up 83 points yesterday to end the session pretty strongly. It's bouncing off those lows, trying to go for another 52-week high. I'm pretty sure that is going to happen. However, gold down 11 points to close at $1,539. It is above that $1,500 marker, which is a critical level for us in the gold markets. We'll see if that can hold. And as I mentioned, Tesla up 52-week high. Oh man, this is a disaster waiting to happen. But it closed up 9.7%. I believe an all-time high, as you can see. Look at this parabolic move. This is just insane for a car maker that really, can't compete with its new set of competition coming from Porsche, Ford, Jaguar, Audi. I mean, the list goes on and on as far as how many other car makers are really entering the EV market with some fierce competition. I just don't see how this company continues. And also, I'm very skeptical of the accounting that Tesla is known for. Again, nothing against Elon Musk, but man, I would be shorting this stock here at these prices with a potential overshoot of maybe 10 to 15% from where we are now. But I just cannot see us seeing Tesla going much further. And really, the move today was just because of analysts saying that it was going to go higher. A $600 target. It's just insane. But we'll take a look at that article here out of TechCrunch regarding Tesla soon. But first, we've got to address China. Their car sales plunged 7.5% in 2019 and 3.6% for December, making the 18th fall in 19 months. Passenger car vehicle sales in China fell yet again in December, plunging 3.6% to 2.17 million units, according to the China Passenger Car Association. We know they are known for padding numbers. So if it plunged 3.6%, that really means it's more like 5%. This marks the 18th drop in the past 19 months for the country, which feels to be single-handedly spearheading a global recession in the industry. For the full year, sales in China declined 7.5%, marking the second straight annual decline. And I mean, the pattern is so obvious here. We've got lower highs as we head here into the new year. I mean, and that chart goes all the way back to 2005. So we can't have these exponential growth patterns forever. We just simply can't. Automakers, it says, continue to struggle with a slowing economy and tariff uncertainties despite phase one of the U.S.-China trade deal supposedly being finished, even though it still has not even been signed. GM said on Tuesday that its sales were down 15% in China and said that pressure into 2020 would likely continue. But some analysts say there's a reason for optimism, namely that the pace of declines has slowed for 4 months in a row as comps have become easier. This will only hold true heading into 2020, whereas 2019 comps will be much easier to catch than those of prior years. Vehicle sales will drop 2% in 2020, making a third straight annual decline. Sales fell 7.5% in 2019 and 6% in 18. And the reason why I think Tesla's in trouble is because of EV sales. To make matters worse, they said Beijing slashed subsidies on EVs and NEVs this year, as we noted in the beginning of December, causing a huge dent in sales of plug-in vehicles. NEV sales plunged 42% in November. Yet some analysts insist that progress will be made in the new year, but falling 42% is devastating in of itself. Environment-friendly cars would return to positive territory this year, the analyst said. To dig further into this whole China slowdown, Ford's China sales dropped 26% in the third straight year of decline. And we just saw in the last article that GM sales in China dropped 15%. So Ford is in even a worse predicament. It says China vehicle sales for Ford fell a third consecutive year by 26.1% as it battles to prolong overall sales declines in its second biggest market that has hit demand for its mass market Ford brand and sports utility vehicle. The U.S. automaker delivered 146,000 vehicles in China in the fourth quarter, down 14% year on year. Ford said in a statement, in total, it sold 567,000 vehicles over 2019. Ford has been trying to revive sales in China after its business began slumping in late 2017. Sales sank, get this, in 18, 37% after a 6% decline in 2017. This is not looking good for Ford. I mean, you see what massive changes they've made here in the United States, cutting almost all of its car lines and focusing solely on trucks. The president and chief executive of Ford Greater China said that while 2019 was a challenging year for the automaker, it saw its market share in the high to premium segment stabilizing and its sales decline in the value segment start to narrow in the second half of the year. And so we're seeing the trend here. We're seeing the trend. First to get hit are the people at the bottom, or in the middle, I should say. The people at the bottom already hit, right? The people in the middle are the ones that really feel it the most when we start to see a slowdown in the economy. And I've said this time and time again, Trump has, with a bit of luck on his side and also many of his business-friendly policies, has really made these economic numbers look very good. I didn't get a chance to talk about the unemployment figures that just came out, I think, last week. I have to admit, these are really good numbers, even when you include U6 numbers, which adds those workers who are part-time purely for economic reasons. So the numbers look better than ever, honestly. However, of course, they're going to look the best before they start to turn into the worst. In every statistic or metric that you look at, you have a highest point before you begin to decline. And I think we're in that period right now. And it's just best that people start to prepare for this, because it's going to be worse than 2008, 2009, I believe. And there's only so much longer that Trump can tout those great economic numbers, in my opinion. But to the contrary, because of the Federal Reserve and central banks all across the world, guess what? The luxury brands are doing just fine. Lamborghini sales up 43%. Driven by its Urus SUV. And I'm just going to explain something to you. This Urus truck is a $200,000 truck. This is a $100,000 truck is a very expensive truck in middle America. You double that, $200,000 truck, and it's all because of this truck that Lamborghini sales are up 43%. And this is what I mean. There are two sides of the story to tell. One of the 1% and the other of the rest of the population. And so Lamborghini reported a scorching 43% jump in sales in 2019, driven by its new $200,000 SUV, the Urus. Lamborghini is the latest high-end car company to report record sales in 2019, boosted by their hulking, powerful SUV. Lamborghini has sold, get this, 8,205 vehicles worldwide in 2019, up from 5,750 in 2018, with the 2017 launch of its Urus, a 641 horsepower SUV that starts at 210,000 and can go 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds. The question now is whether the company owned by Volkswagen's Audi brand can continue to grow sales while maintaining its reputation as a hyper-exclusive maker of supercars like the Huracan and Aventador. And so, as we just talked about, in China, the Asian area is Lamborghini's biggest growth, where sales jumped 66% for the year of 2019. Sales jumped 45% in North America and 28% in Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And so, this illustrates to me easy money, the trickle-down economy. And it's funny, I retweeted this, trickle-down economics, and this is clearly what happens. It's a trick. At the end of the day, it's a trick. It never gets to the masses. The upper class get to benefit from this trickle-down economics and buy luxury goods, buy big-ticket assets that appreciate because of inflation. And guess who's holding the bag? Last topic today is on the other side of the coin with luxury goods. Tesla surges past 500 on back of analyst upgrade and China momentum. And so it says today in regular trading, shares of American electric car manufacturer Tesla surged past the 500 mark. Tesla, the most famous EV company in the world, has had a tumultuous last 12 months on the public markets. The company's shares have traded as low as $176. Those are some crypto returns there. With that stock price, the company is worth $91.3 billion according to Google Finance. As is often pointed out, Tesla is worth more than Ford and General Motors combined. In a slightly more exotic formulation, Tesla is worth just under 64 times as much as Aston Martin. And so why it's surging again is because of an investor upgrade this morning that was put out by Oppenheimer. Their new target is just over $600 per share. That's today's run-up explained. The morning's rally, however, is tied to the company's rising growing operations in China and global delivery figures. Since delivering its first China-produced cars earlier this month, Tesla shares have shot higher after cracking 400 in early December. Tesla is now trading another 20% higher. And so this is what I mean with this Tesla situation. You're going to see these ultra luxury brands take a hit as well. It's just going to be a lagging event. Luxury goods are normally what is called in economics more inelastic than lower end brands and durable goods. So they're going to get hit as well. So for Oppenheimer to make this upgrade and, we see Tesla up 10% in one day, you might as well say, this marks to me a very ominous scenario. I can't, in my opinion, go too much higher. Even if it goes another 15%, do you want to risk gaining another 15% to lose 50% or more? I wouldn't do it. So it's not financial advice, but just saying, you have to look at everything in totality. And if China is slowing, then the luxury brands are soon to follow. But hey, that's my 2 cents on the subject. Let me know yours in the comments below. And if you found this video informative, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and click that bell to receive more videos like this. I'm out of here, people. Holla.